your IDP, we're going to have a session next week on the 3rd, just to, I think it's the 3rd, right? Yeah, it's the 3rd. Yeah. So on the 3rd, we will do, it's Thursday, our usual time. It's my time to meet my mentee for IDP. Okay. So what we need to do is, if you want to join us, it's fine. If you have any questions that you want to ask, it's also fine. The gist of IDP 1 is basically the conceptual report and also the preliminary design report. So this one here, I do time. Oh, sorry, can you give me a minute? Sorry, 30 seconds.
Your audio is not clear.
You cannot go to Mama house because you have to finish your English. Have you finished your English? The due date is tomorrow, last day. No, teacher say message me just now. So you better finish it this afternoon. Okay? So don't need to go to Mama house this afternoon, but go tomorrow morning. Go tomorrow. Sorry, my line is a bit. I feel I just got kicked out. You just do. Sorry, I just got kicked out just now. Can everybody hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, what was the question just now? On IDP. Okay, so IDP 1, I've spoken to Dr. B actually. We are talking about your conceptual report and also your preliminary design report. Okay? Sorry, you have to give me a minute. I've got a Okay, sorry. Yeah, for conceptual report, actually, we need you to hand in your time and cost. Okay, so your time and cost in conceptual report. If you look at the assignment, I mean, if you listen to the recording that I was giving you, it's basically talking about a very simple, sort of like a analogy kind of estimates. You do need previous site data from other construction site, which I mean like it depends on the type of data that you collect. If you go and collect from one site, compared to people who are collecting from 10 site, the difference can be quite big in that sense, you see. So your accuracy can be very different as well. Okay, so we use what we call analogy estimates, okay, and that analogy estimates will require you to get the analogy estimates that you have from previous site in that sense, okay, and then you will move on to calculating for your own site. And in terms of time, I will really be looking at really about level one kind of thing, and you have a compilation of level one, you do your work breakdown a little bit, and then you have your level one and two. Basically, just a very brief example, and then from your layer for your preliminary design, we'll be looking at we'll be looking at more on the definitive estimates whereby you've already got all your work, you've already done some of the preliminary design, you've already got the work breakdown in a more clearer manner. And then from there, you will list down the the timeline to it. And then that one there at that point in time, uh, I don't foresee you can do much with anything, because yes, you just have to sort of estimates using previous data, and then from then, your cost estimation will be based on will be based on what we call an all-up rate, and that all-up rate is going to be calculated with labor, with machineries, with everything chantung into one rate, and then you calculate that with the quantity of the materials. So that is basically what you need to do for your IDP1. But for your IDP2, this is whereby the detail estimates will come into the picture. Okay, the detail estimates is something that I'm going to explain today. Actually, yeah. I mean, I've already started explaining in my recording, but it's going to be. I mean, today we're going to do examples and all that. Okay, so this is how me and Dr. Lee has planned out your IDP1 and IDP2. You see, and that is how you should approach it. But I understand some people, you've gone to Dr. Leonard's class and they talk to you about OP and also and also land title and that sort of things. It's not going to be included in IDP because in actual fact, title is a very difficult thing to estimate, and it does require the developer itself to pay the land premium, to fully pay off the land premium before the title will be issued. You see, and many irresponsible developer, they don't pay for it, and then at the end of the day, the owner never gets a land title, so it can be a hanging thing for the rest of the time that you're staying in that house or that property. You see, OP wise, you can actually go to different government agencies, different councils to actually look for their standard procedures, but does not mean that it will follow the standard procedures. So again, OP and title is something that is very, very, very subjective, very, very subjective to the council, very, very subjective to the developers, very subjective to people building. We engineer can only estimate like maybe really a guessology based on the SOP, you see, that is available in the councils and the SOP that is available in land and survey. But normally it's very difficult. It's actually project by project. You can't even use X project data to actually estimate that. Very difficult actually, because different project is handled by different officers and sometimes different areas and because of the sizes of the project, sometimes if you handle 10 houses, you probably get your OP a lot faster than if you handle 100 houses. You see, because 100 houses, you've got more breakdowns, you've got more things to do, repair and all that, and to do maintenance work and all that. So it can take a lot longer. The defect liability can stretch a lot longer. So the OP can be a bit more harder to get. So there's a lot of issues there which we are not covering here, even in project management. So we won't be covering that in IDP. So you really don't need to include that. But since you're learning from Dr. Leonard's class, you can actually include that. I mean, we wouldn't penalize you if you get something wrong, but it would look nice for your IDP report. But we wouldn't penalize if you don't do it. If you do it, if you get it wrong, we also won't penalize you. It doesn't make too much of a difference. It's your effort. Okay. I mean, if we see it, there's some specific effort there. It's nice. We will give you some extra little marks here and there, but that's about it. You see. Okay. So let's talk more about IDP on the 3rd of December. Okay. If you're interested to come and join the Q&A sessions. Okay. Don't come if you don't have questions. I mean, like if you want to sit down and listen, that's fine. But if you don't come and everybody start keeping quiet, I'm going to keep quiet and I won't be talking, okay? So you better come with some questions if you need to. And, okay, so for the assignment, anything else on the assignment for, anything else on the assignment for the one coming up on the 30th that you need to hand in the next few days? Okay, Clement is asking, you need to estimate the amount of material, okay, the volume of concrete. Yes, correct. You do have to have that. Otherwise, I don't know how you're going to calculate the time and duration. No way you can do that. The volume, the amount of work will really determine the time that you're going to take as well, see. So you have to estimate. That's why I say it's better if you have a real project that you can actually look at the drawings and estimate the quantity. Yeah, Clement, okay?
Yes, doctor. Is there any reference that I can refer, like how much concrete that I need for like this specific project? I mean, is it a baseline?
Hello. If you don't have the drawings for it, how can you have a baseline? I mean, what kind of question is that? Okay. I mean, your project is your project. So I'm going to give you a baseline of standard one house have to use how much concrete. I can't, right? You tell me how. For one house, I have to use how many tons of steel bars? I can't, right? Because I don't know. I don't even know what your structure looks like. You see.
Okay.
You have to have your own drawings. That's why I say it's a real life project. I mean, if you don't have a real life project, you can't estimate the quantity. You have to have the engineering drawings for it, the structure drawings, and also the site drawings or something like that. If you don't have drawings, there's no such thing as a book that you can have, and then you flip and you say that, oh, this house I will have 20 tons of 200 meter cube of concrete. No way, there's no such thing. There's nothing like that existing in this world, okay? Every engineering project is a contract, is a specific design by the design engineer. So the quantity is very much special by itself, okay? If there's such a booklet, I don't think we need engineers, and I don't think you need to come to engineering school and to be put through structure design, because everything is standard. You can just copy and paste from some sort of manual or some sort of program, that you can just take and copy, and this is the standard. No, there's never such thing. Okay, I mean, I'm a bit shocked with this sort of questions because you are the engineer, okay? You are supposed to do design. So after your design, you will know your quantity, and that quantity, usually if you use program to calculate, I mean, if you use your Orion or Esteem, they will actually produce a quantity as well. And that one can be your baseline if you're talking about that, because that one is based on the design. From the design, they will generate a quantity. So from that quantity, we can use that as a baseline, but then normally we would produce a final drawing and then get our QS or get our junior engineer to take out the ruler and to measure again, to recheck all the quantity before we confirm. Yeah.
Okay, doctor. Thank you, doctor.
Okay. So yes, I hope I'm very worried, because you all don't seem to know what you're supposed to be doing as an engineer. Oh dear me. Any other questions?
Hello, doctor.
Yes.
Because what Clement asked is, we couldn't find any real project. So what we do is we go to online and then we try find those developer, and then we manage to get like we find a project, and then in the website they have the floor plan with all of it. But the problem now is the floor plan have the material, but we not sure like how to calculate out the material needed for it.
That's why you can't, unless you can take that floor plan and produce an AutoCAD drawing for it and from there, or you can take that floor plan and do your own. Do you know how to do Orion or SD? Have you been trained for that?
Haven't.
Well, then you can't look at the floor plan and calculate because you don't have the structure drawing. That is, floor plan is only architecture drawing. So from that, it's either you produce your own engineering structural plan and then from there, calculate your beam, your column, your slab sizes, and then your roofing sizes and all that. Then that is where you can get the quantity.
Okay. Okay. Right.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, doctor.
So otherwise, you do need to have a project that is actually, you have a structure plan.
Okay. Can. Thank you, doctor.
Yeah. So floor plan, like I said, is actually architect. From the floor plan, engineers will normally take it to do the structure design. So if you, like I said, if you know how to do structure design, then if you can, the fastest way that I can think of is to put it to some program, like SD or Orion or some program that you learn from structure design. And then that's it, you just run it, that would be the fastest and easiest to run it. And then after that, we will have a structure plan. From a structure plan, because our volume of concrete, tons of steel bars and all that is based on the structure plan. If you don't know your beam sizes, if you don't know your column sizes, you can't calculate the concrete size. You can't calculate that. Unless you're going to crack and just put in any volume, and that will probably be a guess, worst come to worst, you can do that. But if the time starts to look very unreasonable, it may affect your marks. It will have some impact. If you just do simple, like guessing kind of thing, and just put like an amount that you pick up from anywhere and everywhere, Yeah. There are some people who have some very standard kind of calculation. They will look at, per floor plan, per meter square of floor plan, and then or per square foot, and then you probably can consult some consultant or some contractor, per square foot, you can per square foot of house, what sort of concrete and what sort of concrete amount that you need, and then from there is a ratio to the steel bars, and those sort of calculations are very, very inaccurate, but then some people does that for the very, very preliminary, very, very early stage conceptual study kind of thing. But I don't really do that, so I don't have that conversion. There's no standard conversion, there's no standard formula if that is what Clement is asking. But it basically depends on the experience and also the engineers themselves to do the conversion, actually. So they will take the floor plan, they will take the per meter square of floor plan, and then just estimate the number of volume of concrete that is required, and volume they will times by another something to get the reinforcing steel bars. Yes. There is something like that, but like I said, that is not the academic way of doing things, and not the standard way of doing things. It's actually just a very strict, we call it strict way of doing things, okay? Pasar way, okay? We call it the gangster way, lah, huh? So I don't know how you're going to put that in the report, you know, if you try to do that, you know. Do you guys want me to give you some extension on the assignment? It looks like everybody is, you know, like, ding, you know, like all the bird flying through the air, you know, pua, 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 you know. Anyone else want to have some delays? I mean, from the question that you guys are asking, I can really see all the blackbirds flying through everybody's head, you know. Richard, yes?
Because you mentioned we have to have a structural layout, so yes, that
Because I actually, when I put up the assignment, I do say that, you know, you need to have a real assignment. I mean, a real project. That's why I asked you for a real project. And that's why there's a part 1 there that's talk about project background, you see? So that is the reason why I was asking for a project background, you know. So you cannot just pick anything up from the internet in that sense, you know. Like I said, if you do pick up something from the internet, you must have the proper design that is coming with it, you know. So, or you can have some sort of like a more, because I remember somebody asking me about, you know, taking a project from Australia. Remember, I was hesitating. I was, you know, saying that, you know, are you sure, you know, and, you know, if the information are all there, then by all means, okay lah, you know, but then if it's not there, then you should be considering using a local assignment.
because for my group of day, we only have the architectural drawing.
Why is it, as a civil engineer, my question is, can I ask everybody, why is it as a civil engineer, you guys are looking at the architectural drawing? You are from FK, you're not from FAB. So what is the purpose of looking at the architectural drawing? What can the architectural drawing tell you with regards to time management?
In our architectural drawing, Doctor, there's a list of like materials. Is that can we use that?
You can, I suppose, yeah. List of materials, yeah, I know, but they were going to be listing down how many sinks you're going to use, how many doorknobs you're going to use, you know. So are they going to give you the meter square or meter cube of concrete, tons of steel bars and all that? Because this assignment is going to be focusing around, it's purely going to be focusing around structure, civil work, you know. In fact, if you have one item on your level one item on your level 1, if you have it, it's okay. That is M&E architectural. So that one will only take up one layer, okay? And M&E is talking about the electrical power points, the plumbing systems, and also the toilet systems. I mean, like the one that Dr. Lee was talking to you about, building systems in your year 3. Those are mechanical and electrical systems, okay? There's only one layer on that, one item in layer 1 on that. And then architecture is talking about the door, the window, the ceilings, you know, and some of the fixtures that is being used in the house, the tiles, you know, those are architectural, the interior, okay? When you talk about architectural. So your work breakdown is generally focusing on structure and civil. I mean, sorry to say this, but, you know, I am a civil engineer. When I give you an assignment, you are going to be graduating as a civil engineers. So why would I be giving you an architectural design kind of, you know, assignment? So sorry, my brain just doesn't link, you know. So therefore, I just cannot, you know, I did not spell it out so clearly, you know. It's because you all are civil engineer. I thought we are on the same layer, same platform in that sense, you know. So we're talking about structures, we're talking about civil work, we're talking about pipelines, we're talking about sewage work, we're talking about drainage work here or road work here, you know. So that's why when I asked you to choose assignment 10 to 12, I did not go into that kind of specific, you know, whether you're going to have like architecture drawings, structural drawings. My God, you know, I just didn't think that we are going down that direction at all, you know, unfortunately. So, okay, if that's the case, I didn't know that you have to be that specific, you know, that much of a spoon feeding. So I guess we can actually change your hand-in date to a week later. So I will give you up until 7th, okay? Is that okay?
Yes, Doctor. Thank you, Doctor.
Okay, huh? I mean, I'm a bit sad, like, in that sense that there's such a big gap of communication here, you know. I assume you know, and then you just don't know, you know, kind of thing. And we didn't bridge that gap until today, you know. So yeah, it's really unfortunate. Not that you haven't done your internship, you know, even if you have done your internship, these are basic civil engineering ideas, you know. You are here as a civil engineer, you're here to do civil, you know, you do structure design, you get from architect their architectural plan so that you know the layout, you know, and you know the where you need to put a column, where you need to put a beam. You are actually supporting the architectural drawing. You need to put a structure up, okay? So architect, their job really limited to within the other side of the pagar. So they will design up to car porch, and then after the gate, even that little driveway that you cross over the drain into the house, you know, your car drive through, that one is also designed by the engineer, you know. So these are the things that we engineer do. So outside the gate, okay, all the civil work are done by us as a civil engineer. Within the gate itself, the car porch, even the architect will design all the width, the length, you know, how it looks like. Architect don't design anything to support anything. They just design things to look good, okay? And then what you need to do is you need to know your car porch, where you're going to put your beam, where you're going to put your slab, and how thick is the slab to be able to put that 2 cars on it or 3 cars on it, you know, that the architect wants, you see. And then in terms of structure, it's the same, you know. Architect will tell you that from this section to this section is an empty room, and then so you know that there's not going to be column there, so you need to work on your beams, you know, etc., etc. So this is how we work, you know, as a structure engineer. If architect needs to do all this, then we don't need you as a structure engineer. Architect also learns statics, okay, but the idea of learning statics is to check whether your structure are bullshitting or not, you know, that's all. So you want them to sit down and design a structure design. They cannot do it one, you know, none of them can do it one, you know, but they have an idea, they have been trained, you know, they do learn some statics, they do learn, you know, some sort of simple calculation so that they can, when you give them or when you talk to the architect and say, oh, my beam has to be this big, that big, the architect can tell you you're bullshitting, you see. So their job is just to counter check you, you know, in that sense. So in terms of structure and civil, you guys are the leader, you know, not the architect. So I hope that clarifies your role as a civil engineer. You are not in FAB, you know. Okay. That's why your drawings, engineering drawings are all very technical drawings. Their drawings, you know, architect needs to learn how to do sketches and all that, you know. So I mean, I don't want to go through that. I mean, like, why should I be going through the roles of architects and engineers with you? You know, my God, you know, what's wrong? Oh dear. Right. Okay. So Anything else? I mean, it's okay to ask question. I mean, I'm just feeling my head is very black now in a way. But it's okay. You know, you can ask. I mean, we can take this as a Q&A sessions for assignments. It's also okay. You know, I'm totally fine with that. I mean, as long as we can clear up any misunderstanding here. Even if you don't go for your internship, not all of you will be placed in building kind of project. You know, some of you will be in road, some of you will be in drains, you know, some of you will be placed in Pan-Borneo Highway. You know, so many things, you know. So even if you're done your internship, you probably wouldn't know a thing as well, actually. Yeah. So
sorry, doctor.
Yes, Raymond.
I know all the duties you're talking about, but actually our problem is we never done it before. So we didn't know how much the material needs, and we haven't experienced it before. Do you have any platform or any YouTube video for us to learn this thing?
No, because you know what? Material. I mean, like, you haven't done RC design yet, man?
Yes, already, but that's only regarding about how much shear force, something like that, and it doesn't have any sort of how much material we need in how many house like that now. So we
Come
are a bit
on.
unclear about that one. So yeah, do
If you have
any?
learned RC design, you will know what does a beam looks like. You will know what does a steel bar look like. Okay. So if you've done engineering drawings in year one, you will know what steel bars look like. You will know what the you would know what concrete, you know, like what a beam looks like. Okay. So don't tell me you cannot do material calculation. That one nobody will teach you one. Okay. A beam is what? 400 cross section is what? 400 times by 200. The beam is how long? 2 meters? 1 meter? 3 meters? So you tell me you cannot get the concrete volume? Raymond, do you need a guideline on those sort of things?
I mean, the concrete, right, is made from what aggregates thing, but we didn't know how much aggregate we can form.
You don't need that.
cement
You don't
like
need that. Concrete is just meter cube of concrete. 1 meter cube of concrete encompass. What grade are you looking at? You're looking at grade 25, 35. There is basically pretty standard kind of match, you know, like of division. And then you cannot calculate that, you know, like, oh, I'm going to need how many kilograms of cement and all that. Normally, concrete, you just calculate as meter cube, that's all.
Oh, so you mean the assignment we need is like just like you talk about, like we write how many meter cubes of
Correct.
concrete like that.
Yeah, and then how many tons of steel bars? That's it. You know, like your steel bars,
Oh.
you can calculate, right?
Yeah.
You know, like you've got like how many steel bars inside there? Okay, how many stirrups inside there? You can calculate, right? That's why you have structural drawings, right? So after you calculate, then you can convert it to from the areas, you can convert to tons, right? The weightage, the tonnage, right?
Oh, okay. Oh, actually, I misunderstand because I think we need to have some kilograms of
No.
cement.
No. Basically, it's like your structure. Structure is basically the bricks. How many pieces that you probably you will need in that sense. It's an estimation as well. You know, like you probably order a bit more, but you know, yes. And one brick is supposed to be like, you know, standard size. You know, I think it's 700 times by 300 or something. I mean, like, you know, that particular block, and then, but if you buy the bigger block, the concrete block compared to the brick block, is a bit of a different sizes. That one all you can get from any suppliers actually, and then or any hardware store, they will be able to tell you. And then you need your concrete for your structure, you need your steel bars for your structure, you need your formwork for your structure. That is how much of material that you probably be looking at, you know. And then concrete, we're talking about per meter cube, and per meter cube is usually when the rate that is being quoted to you, it will be the ready concrete. Like ready concrete with the cement, everything all mixed up, you know, it's already in that liquid form, and then you can pour already.
Okay. Thank you,
Uh-huh.
Doctor.
And then if you're looking at road work, the road work is the one that you may need to know how much of bitumen, caustic, and then the layers of gravels, and sand, or all the layering. And that one you probably need the stone and all that, the kilogram. But it's depending on the project. Pipeline, definitely you only need the km. 1 km how much, and how much is what is the size of the pipe that you are using actually. Yeah. So in terms of your assignments, let's make it standard. If you're coming up with your different layers, and all these layers are mainly focusing, I think about 90% are actually focusing on civil and structural work. Okay. Civil work as in drain, road work, pipeline, sewage, those are called civil work, okay? And then the geotech is substructure, and the structure itself above the ground will be called superstructure, so they are all under structure in the sense, foundation. So that is structural design or geotechnical design together with structural design, or foundation design. But foundation design actually can be applied to civil work as well, because you do have pilings and all that, for drains, for pipes and all that. But for structural work, generally we have substructure, which is the foundation, and superstructure, that is the one that is above the foundation. So what you need to do is you need to have 12 layers of those activities to 15. And then from there, you break it down into smaller activities of what you need to do, okay? I mean, I do not expect you all to be expert, to be entirely accurate, to be completely precise about the activity, okay? It's an exercise of you knowing how to break things down, okay? And after that, if you need to, you break it down into smaller layers. And then from the last layer that you will have your column on materials, you will have the column on work breakdown, you'll have a column on machineries, plant equipment in one category, and labor that is inclusive of supervisory team, and below those are labor that you need, you see. So material wise, you need to put down some numbers in the material, and that is whereby if you talk about concrete pouring, so the major material will be concrete. Am I right? If you talk about bar bending, your major material will be the bars, okay? So with that quantity, okay, you put down that quantity, then your estimation of the labor will make more sense, okay? So, I mean, if I look at the assignment and I see that your concrete pouring, you're talking about 50 meter cube, okay, 50 meter cube. And then you say that you want to pour everything in one day, for example. And then the labor that you put there is only one person. So obviously, it is not reasonable, you see? So we will be sort of like looking at the logic behind, all your timeline later on, in that sense. So what you need to do is with the duration. Duration is after you key in all your resources, your material list, your labor, machineries, everything, you put it there already. Then we will see, okay, then what you should do, and what we will be judging you on will be which one out of this three, which one do you pick in terms of governing for your duration. Okay, so it is like a production rate that is attached to every single one of the resources that you put there. But again, the accuracy is not expected of you, honestly, because everything in the industry do have a range, it can be as expensive as, like, let's say, per meter cube of concrete. It can be as expensive as 250. I mean, as cheap as 250, can go up to 300. I mean, it's very difficult to, I mean, we won't be penalizing you, that's what I'm trying to say. Unless you're putting a figure that is really out of the world, that is no logic one, then you're going to have some problem. So what we're going to do is you're going to have three column basically, or 3 or more columns. And then from there, you have all your labor, machineries, all your resources listed out for that particular section. This is an exercise. This is the first exercise. It's only 10%. We won't be too harsh on you, honestly speaking, But I'll be very harsh on you when you're going to do IDP, because this one here is just like a prelude. It's like you trying to flex your muscle the first time. But when it comes to IDP later, you already have all this as your background, then we'll be a lot more stricter in terms of the numbers and figures and all that you're putting in, you see. So here, we will still give you a lot of leeways in the sense of errors, you see. We won't be marking so harshly if you're out, you see. So then, it's more of the way that you're doing it. So from there, you will highlight which one is the governing resources, and therefore, that production rate you calculate with the time, you see. Production rate with the quantity. So you see, if you don't have the quantity, okay, how are you going to calculate the production rate? You understand now, Raymond, and the rest? Why I actually want you to come up with the quantity?
Okay, yes. Thank you.
So if you have all the production rate for your labor, for your machineries, but you don't have a quantity of concrete amount that you need to do. So how? Your production rate doesn't work. You have the production rate, but production rate is quantity over time. You're looking for time, but you don't have quantity. Yeah? So again, for people who actually don't have a real life project and you pick it up from the internet, I would really suggest that you find way to verify. If you don't want to change project at this point in time, you may need to find way to calculate that quantity out. Even though it's not so accurate, it is okay. At least you've got something. Okay, understand?
Understood.
I think maybe the other problem is because you haven't gone through internship is I think the major problem is it's a bit difficult for you to find real life project. That is something that I probably have overlooked, because usually after internship, most of you do have some contacts with the company and all that. So it's a lot easier for you to get real life project. Okay? So let's come to some sort of like compromise. Can we do that? Okay, so this compromise here will be if you do not have real life project, what you could do is actually try to work out an estimation on the quantity. Okay. The other way that I can think of is, why do I say that an estimation? What you could probably do is to quickly take the floor plan, take the architecture floor plan, and calculate a standard slab. Take the biggest area and calculate the standard slab, and take the biggest span and calculate the beam and the column, and use that tree standard as and apply that across the entire structure. Although even if you go up the roof, the beam will be a lot smaller already, actually, because you're only having the roof kind of structure on top. So I mean, I'm just saying that use the major one. The piling as well, take the biggest, take the most critical and apply that as a standard across the entire floor, an entire structure. Okay, that is the best compromise I can do. Okay, will you have problem with that? Richard?
Okay.
Is doable? with your knowledge on RC design, would it be doable?
Mm,
Because I do not
seems
impose.
doable. Seems doable.
Yeah. Okay, so you have a bit more time to try that out. We can talk again on Wednesday. Okay. I mean, sorry, we can talk again on Thursday. Next week we'll talk about IDP. Okay. But you all never try to use software. I mean, it's like, yeah. So normally, what we do with software is you will kind of you will overlap the architecture drawings, the floor plan into the software, and then after that, you will put down where all your beams and columns and all that, your placement of those things, and then it will run by itself on the sizes of the beam and column. That will be the fastest if you know how to use some software. Another way is if you do have some ideas on softwares, then you can try that out. But just as long as you have got some quantity listed down there, I think it should be fine. Oh, of course, you can use project from IDP. I've already said this many times. You're free to use project from IDP. In fact, you're encouraged to use project from IDP. Why? Because if you've done this exercise with your IDP project, then later on, a lot of this information, a lot of these techniques, you can actually apply straight into your IDP tool later on when you're doing the detailed design and also the detailed costing and resources planning. Because IDP tool, you'll be doing resources planning throughout. You'll be doing you'll be doing costing based on the resources. You'll be doing time based on the resources and all that, on production rate and all that. It's really exactly what you're doing for now, you know. But then it's like a intense version. This is like a diluted version that you're doing. So if you're using it for your IDP, that's even better actually. Yeah. Okay, so I think that is the compromise that I can take. You must have quantity, okay? You must have quantity, because if you don't have quantity, your production rate is going to be flush down the toilet, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, flush down the toilet, because you read all your production rate, but you don't have any quantity to put there, you see? So it will be a disaster, right? So then now, I think the question revolves now, oh, we are shocked, like how to do quantity. You cannot, my compromise is you cannot assume. You cannot just say that, okay, I put 200, or okay, I put 500. Cannot like, you know, like imagine one, okay? So what you need to do is come up with a reasonable quantity, and that you can do using a software. You can just try to run it with a software for your architecture plan. For those of you who do not have structure drawings, okay? You do not have structure drawings. The easiest way is you have structure drawings. And then you take out your ruler, you know, your scale ruler, and you calculate your structure, your beam and all that. It's easy, okay? That one, you can do it within one day, okay? So if you have structure drawing or civil drawings with all the proper set of drawing, that is even better, okay? If you have it in AutoCAD, it's even easier. You only have to pull the line, you know, and all that, and then basically you already know the, I mean, like it's just punching calculators, okay? So the easiest way, you have structure drawings, you have civil drawings, engineering plans. Structure drawing is not architecture drawings, okay? Structure drawing is a civil engineer do one structure, okay? Architect one is the floor plan, okay? So you must have structure drawings, you must have structure drawings, or you must have civil drawing, or you have an engineering plan. So these three things will help you very easily to come up with the quantity. Okay? That is a direct measurement. And all engineers need to know all the calculation, because most of the time the job is done by the QS. But if your project are so small, you don't have a specific QS on the job. QS are the genius. They are the people who knows how to do quantity like with the eyes closed, okay? But you are also trained as well, you know, scale ruler, measure, volume, times by rate. These are typical QS work, okay, that engineers have to do as well. Then after that, the next one down is you only have the architecture plan. You don't have any real life project, you only have the architecture plan that you pull out from somewhere. So this one here, like I say, my compromise is you can actually just calculate a standard critical beam column slab. Okay? In order, and then apply the quantity across the whole entire building. Understand? This one here also, the other way is if you know how to use some software, or you have some friends who know how to use some software, or some senior, or your brothers and sisters, or your mom, or whatever, then your dad or whatever, who knows how to use some software, so you can just go into the software and come up with the structure plan. Okay, and then from there do your calculation. That one will be more accurate, but I doubt many of you have that kind of I mean, like, if you do have friends who knows how to use the software, and if you do have friends who know how to convert, they are probably working in a consultant firm or working in some places that you probably can just get a ready structure drawing instead of going through that. Okay, so you don't have to go through the hard way. So I think, yeah, that's it. And then what else can you do? Let me think. I guess that standard is already the minimum. Or yeah, the other way is like I say, if you have the floor plan, you can try to consult some engineers, or some structural engineers, or some contractor, if you have some contractors friend, of how they do conversion from the floor plan to the concrete quantity and also the steel bar quantity. Can I know that how many group don't have, how many pair of you don't have a real project?
Yeah, you said how many pairs don't have the structural design card?
Yeah, but you're choosing you're choosing the project as a structural project, but you don't have a structural plan.
Me and Theodore. One.
1, 2. Do you just want to punch your number here, like a group? Just put like Richard. Just put like in the chat. You put 1, and then the next person put 2. Okay, yeah, 1, 2, 2. Yeah, okay.
Doctor, does IT count as real project or no?
Count.
All right.
Don't repeat. I mean, if you are in the same group as the other friend, I mean, if you see your partner already punched the number, there's about 111 of you, so divide by 2, we're talking about 60, about less than 50, about 55 group law. So there's about 18 group who don't have real projects.
Morning, doctor.
Yeah.
My name is Brenda.
Yes, hi, Brenda.
So basically, for my project, I'm choosing for road construction project, which is Pan Borneo. So
Yeah.
I got the BQ from one of my friend. So can I use that as for my reference for the
Yes.
production rate?
No problem.
Okay.
Production rate and quantity is all in the BQ. Right?
Yeah, correct, yeah. So thank you, doctor.
No problem. So there's 27 group that don't have a real project. So I think 29, 28. Everybody is putting up their hands. So all of you just go and dream out some project, is it, so far? So about half of you don't have real project. If you already
The,
having IDP as a project, don't put your name here. Don't put it up anymore. You know, IDP is supposed to be real project actually. Okay, I think about half of you guys don't have real project. I think it's time for you to either search for a real project or, like I said, use the critical beam column design if you're doing structure. Or find some real projects, okay? It doesn't have to be structure, it can be civil works. All right, I think about half of you guys don't have a proper, so this 33 of you, 33 group of you, so 66 of you, I'm assuming that you're just taking something from the internet kind of thing. That's the problem, you know. You guys are wanting to score in these sort of assignments, and yet, you know, the effort level is just basically going to the internet and trying to find examples. You know? It's just very, very disheartening for me, you know, as a lecturer, you know, that my students are doing things like this, you know.
for my pair, I'm basing it on my IDP.
You're basing it on IDP, but you don't have a structure. I mean, obviously in IDP also you don't have a structure design, right? Am I right? But what you can do is, even the site is an IDP site, if you can find a structure design, you can just apply that onto the site. It's okay one.
Doctor,
Mm.
for my pair assignment, we have a real project company, which is a primary school. Do we have to take all the resources?
The resource, okay, okay. Like this. This is an assignment. This is an academic assignment. So the project I'm asking you to take, okay, preferably is a real life project. But I am not expecting you, okay, to go and take the real life project punya documents, you know, and just apply everything in that document into your project. Okay. So as it's going to be used as the foundation, meaning that it's used as a basic. That particular, okay, you'll say your kindy project. Okay. So once you have it, your structure plan, okay, and some of you may have the BQs, okay, it's fine, just take it, okay. If they are willing to give it to you, just take it. But you need to do it your way, you see. You need to do it, you need to do this assignment the way that you requested to. If you think that, if you talk about resources, when you see the resources, you say, I want to put 2 men on these resources or 5 person to work on this resource, to work on this particular task, okay? Just put 5, you know, you don't have to go and look at what the real project people put there, you see? You understand, Bibiana? Is that what you're trying to ask me?
Yeah.
It's not about following their example, you know, like if they say their example is they engage 10 person working, you know, 2 excavator, you throw that out. It's got nothing to do with you. You understand or not? All I want from the real assignment is the project only. And then from there, you do your own estimation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The only thing that you can really take from there is the quantity. If you have the quantity, then it's a lot easier. Okay. It's easier for you in that sense because the quantity is available already. Just not like Veranda, he has got the BQ from the whole company. So he's got the rate there, he's got the quantity there already. So it's really great, you know, you can just take it, you know. That will save you like half of the job, you know. But then when he plans for his resources to do those quantity, he cannot go back to that company and ask them, hey, you know, like this bit here, how many excavator you put? Yeah, I put it down as 2, you know, kind of thing. we shouldn't be doing that. Like, you should be training yourself as a project manager. When you look at the amount of work that needs to be done, what sort of quantity of labor and machinery that you want to plan for your project. That's what we're talking about, resources planning. Is that clear to everybody here? Okay. So the issue now is many of you do not have you have a real project, your IDP project, but some of you don't have the structural plan. So again, you could actually ask for a structure plan, or you can use any structure plan and apply that onto your project. It's also okay, as long as you can legally get some quantity. I think that is okay for me. The only thing that I don't want to see is you don't have anything, but you just simply pull some numbers out from the air. Okay, so anything else you need me to go into more details with you? I mean, it's good, I mean, this is very, very unexpected, I'm here to actually do you a lecture today, but then it seems like we have this sort of problems, and you have problems understanding things like your role as your role as an engineer, all the way to not knowing how to calculate quantity. I mean, I can see all the problems that is being projected to me at the moment. I mean, like I say, it looks like maybe we're not on a really same kind of wavelength in that sense, but it's now we're trying to adjust back to each other. Okay. Okay. Isaac said that he's already asked some developer, but it's hard for them to give because documents which is in drawings are confidential documents. They can only provide us project. That is fine, Isaac. That is totally fine. If you can get project that is given old project 3 years back, is fine. Some developer, especially for the new plans, they may not want to give you because they do not want it to be leaked into the market that they have this sort of design or this sort of product that is coming up. It's marketing. It is reasonable. But most developer, even with new project, if you know them well enough and they know that you're a student, what they will just probably do is just to give you some structure plan and the site plan and the structure plan. That's all you need. You don't even need to ask them to give you the BQ or anything like that. No. Okay. But like I said, if they're not willing to do that, like I said, 3 years back, 2 years back, even completed project, the structure plan for completed project, it is fine. Okay. The focus here, okay, let me tell you the focus of this assignment. The focus of this assignment is for me to know that you know how to do work breakdown, number one. Number two, you know how to break down the work and attach resources to it, okay? Attach materials, attach labor, attach machinery, and be able to convert your production rate for each of the resources into a time duration. My very, very big concern is in the industry, a lot of engineers, when they do duration, they will just simply put down 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, any number they like based on their experiences, okay? So this is something that I need all new engineers to get away from. It's a very bad habit. They don't treat time carefully. So here I'm using the technique of production rate. So if you know how to take production rate and take the quantity, you can do duration. And then with other sort of consideration, like the site condition, the ground condition, like the machinery condition, you either factor it up or factor it down. I would like to see some discussion on that, of how you finally arrive at that duration, you see. So with that duration, and you do a simple sequencing, it doesn't have to be full correct logic, but if you have that duration, the main thing is I want to see you how to arrive at that duration. That would take out 80% of the exercise. And then after that, I will see how you draw, just if you know how to use Microsoft, project to draw a timeline. So you can see my concern is how you come up with that duration. So whether the project is actually a real life project or a fake project or internet download project, it actually doesn't matter to me, okay? It's only being used to see whether you know how to do it or not. But it matters to you and your workload, because if you have a real project that has a ready structure drawing or a civil drawing, your workload will be reduced because one of the requirements is to calculate material quantity. Okay? So if you have it, it's fine. If you don't have it, you need to find ways to calculate that material quantity. Have I summarized it clearly for everybody? I think this is where we're heading, okay? So if Liu is asking that do we need to attach engineering drawing in the appendix? If you have it, please attach it, okay? You can even put your background of studies, your project background. I would expect to see a site plan. Even if it's a Google Map site plan, I expect to see some site plan, okay? But if we talk about engineering drawings, if you have it, please by all means attach it so that I know this is a real project. But I will not penalize you if you take project from Australia, from internet. I will not penalize you because as long as I will not penalize because you use that sort of project, okay? Because that is not the point of the assignment. The point of the assignment is to come up with that duration. How to come up with the duration? You need the production rate, you need the quantity, you need the work breakdown, you see? So there's no reason I should penalize you because you're using a project that's fake. But you are going to make it difficult on yourself because you do not know where to calculate the quantity. So the quantity bit is the bit that I'll be marking you on, you see, whether you are going to have a reasonable quantity, whether it looks reasonable or not, you see. If you talk about manual and CIDB manual and all that, there is some manual that talks about BQ. In the BQ, they will tell you how to do BQs, okay? I think I mentioned this in construction technology last year. There's a CIDB standard or there's a SSM standard. Those things are just telling you how to write the BQ and how to put the unit for that work. So meaning that concrete, they will say meter cube. So we never expect you to say, to do a mixed design and then calculate the kilogram of cement, kilogram of stones, kilogram of gravels, and kilograms of sand to mix the concrete, no. Usually when you write, it's going to be like concrete pouring, concrete to be poured, at what, and then after that, they will put down their meter cube. So they're expecting a fully mixed, the mix already, curing, vibrating, then you will have a meter cube there, and then that is the work that has to be done, okay? Pipeline, usually we go by numbers of chambers, numbers of pillar hydrants, number of valves, numbers of a valve, number of drain crossing, and then we will go by the pipe itself underground, meter per meter run. For drainage work, we will go by the meter cube of concrete as well, whether it's going to be precast or on-site casting. There will be steel bars and also concrete. Formwork, these are the three major things. And then all you're using modular system, which is already fabricated off-site, then those are also they calculate by per meter of drain. And then the piles also, there'll be numbers of piles, okay? foundation, we will normally look at numbers of piles to be piles and also the amount of concrete that is needed for pile cap and steel bars that is needed for pile caps. That is usually foundation work. And the joints, yeah, pile is also joints, like one pile joint with another joint. So you'll be calculating quantity on those items. So I'm giving you some ideas now. And for road work, we usually go by per meter run. 1 meter, within 1 meter, you have how many the bitumen, the layering, and also the pavement also by per meter run. Okay, and sewage work also by per meter run, especially those underground. The pipeline underground are all by per meter. Then you have the manhole. The manhole, of course, is going to be per number, but each number has different sizes and the quantity will be different. So it will still be based on either the numbers that you buy from the ready-made tank, septic tank, or you actually do the manhole from scratch using concrete. Yeah. So did we cover all the quantity? Yeah, required. Yeah, the meter square and all that. Yeah, required. Okay. So if you want to talk about it some more, we can still talk about it during our IDP sessions with everybody. Any other questions? So I have already extended the date up to the 7th of November. For this assignment, assignment 1, pair work. Okay.
Doctor,
Oh, yes, go ahead.
let's say we're unable to get the detailed engineering plan, right, with all the quantities. But let's say we are able to assume based on our project dimension and get the rough number, and our resources planning scheduling is based on that. However, but our final schedule and resources, the number makes sense. That will be okay, right? Even though our quantity were just estimating.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
It's also an exercise for you to learn how to estimate quantity. I mean, it's actually good. I mean, we found out that you all have these sort of problems. You see. So we will see how we go. I'm not saying that I'll give you a lot more other extension, but if we do have other issues that crop up like today, then we can always discuss and make it more fruitful in that sense. It's a learning process, I believe, rather than a passing, getting the grades kind of process that we're looking at here. You see. So if let's say you all have problems estimating quantity, then we can actually talk about that in our other lectures as we go along later on. Okay. But like I say, next week is a break week, so the only time that we'll still meet up is for that 3rd of December IDP sessions that we can still talk about this assignment with everybody. If you do have issues with quantity estimating, yeah, I can still do some consultation with you as well. Yeah. Okay. So John, your question is basically saying that you do not have a real life project, but you have some site plans. I mean, like, what is it that can you rephrase your question a little bit?
Actually, it's like a real life project, but then from our plan we don't have the amount of material that
your plan. Okay, can you tell me your real life project? Is it what work are you doing?
Construction of semi-detached houses.
Semi-detached houses, but how you have a real life project but you don't have the site plan?
I think it's only Archi drawing actually.
Yeah. So if you have the Archi, you only have the Archi drawing, right?
Yeah.
So do you know how to do structure design based on the Archi drawings? Do you know how to convert that? Have you tried that before? I mean, like in RC design, you guys don't do like a proper house, man, or assignment on a proper house, man? Or proper structure? Yeah, John, can you answer me that?
The general, general calculation.
You know how to look at, do you know how to look at architecture drawings and then calculate the beam, column, and slab? Do you have any, have you tried it before?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So meaning that when you do it with our project, they actually have a sort of like a structure, have a building, right? And then from there, you all need to calculate the beam, the column, and the slabs. Am I right? And how you calculate is actually based on shear, deflection, and also bending moments. You know, and then you calculate your areas of steel bars required. Area of steel bars required will be converted to the numbers of steel bars that's required. Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you have that knowledge, then just apply that into your architecture plan. Like I say, you can actually just go through the exercise one time. I don't need you to calculate every single beam, every single column. By right, you're supposed to, like the real structure drawings, you need to take from the architecture plan and do every single beam, every single column calculation, okay? But here, because of the time limit and also the exercise limit, I only need you to just do the critical ones. Just do the biggest, okay? And then apply that across to the entire building. Does that solve your problem, John?
Okay, doctor.
Anna? Richard, are you understand what I'm trying to say, huh?
So based on the architecture drawing, we take the critical span, the critical slab, then we calculate like what we did during the RC design session. So we
Yes.
just redo that RC design, and then we get the quantity,
Yes,
the
correct. And
critical quantity.
but you have to apply across to the whole entire structure, huh? Because you take only once, maybe the slab or for which one of the part is, like maybe the first floor is the first floor is the major critical slab or the column, Then from there, the biggest span, and then from there, I'm assuming that you're applying to the entire project, Not to say that after you calculate that one beam, and then you say this one beam is a quantity, I'm a bit scared, that's what you guys are thinking.
So that one critical quantity, they have to times with the other units.
Correct. So for the entire structure, you're going to use the same quantity. Okay, so you only calculate one, so one beam, one column, one slab, then from there, apply that across to the entire building. So let's say your building has 20 beams, then you have to times that quantity by 20 beams. But of course, you also look at your work breakdown, So your work breakdown will probably be like, some of you may break it down into ground floor, then ground floor as your first layer, and then ground floor slab, ground floor beam, ground floor slab, ground floor beam, you see? So, and then foundation is another one. So then from there, ground floor slab and ground floor beam, you take from your calculation, and then you will see that the quantity, for the ground floor, and then you apply that to the, then the second one, depending on your work breakdown, how you break it down as well, then you apply that quantity accordingly to your work breakdown. So if your work breakdown cover like ground, first floor, and also roof level, roof beam level, then the roof beam level, you will also take that, as the roof beam, and then times it by the number of roof beams that you are planning for the structure. You need to take the architecture plan, and you need to roughly put down where you're going to put your beam, where you're going to put your column, and those where are the major slabs, you see? So then from there, you can calculate, take the critical one, and then when you do the calculation, then you will know exactly how many beams and how many columns you need. Normally, we do also want to use very standard kind of beams and columns, because we don't want to have like one house got like 3, 6, 7, 8 different dimensions that can be very confusing for the contractors and the workers as well. And this sort of exercise is very important. You do it now, it's really good, you know. There's a lot of room for you to make mistake. But then later on in IDP, especially the prelim design, you'll be doing something like this also. Because you're not going to take the whole structure to calculate every single part of the structure. You're only going to calculate the critical area. That is what in the prelim that you're supposed to be doing. Okay, clear. Mr. Richard Lee and also Mr. John Lee, Raymond. Just now, all those people asking questions, you know, and yeah. So the rest of you who are not asking questions, I am assuming that you're listening. Okay. So here, Norisha is asking, we only have detailed drawing part of beam column. Yeah, I mean, if you have already got the detailed drawings, then yeah, you can just apply that across to your whole entire structure, Norisha. You can. I mean, as long as you have got one beam, one column, one slab, you know, I'm very happy already. Okay, I'm overjoyed. Okay. But that quantity has to be times, it has to be times with the numbers of beams and columns that you actually have, okay, in the structure itself. Don't later on you come up with work breakdown, you know, and your quantity is only like what 20 meter cube at for the whole structure. I tell you. Can we use the same project we used during RC class design that we already calculated? Okay, go ahead. But, you know, you really don't have to tell me, you know. Sometimes when you tell me, when you ask me a question like that, if I answer yes, I feel like I'm actually a devil here trying to teach you the wrong thing, you see. Yeah. Just do whatever you can, okay? Just do whatever you can to get a reasonable quantity. Okay, doc. All right, so I think I will not actually do any attendance QR code today because I haven't gone through the lecture with you. I'll have to put out some pre-recorded later on, just a short one with you on detailed estimates and also S-curve. I'll put up maybe a 14 minutes recording, and then you can just answer some attendance record from there, okay? So anything else? If not, then we will call it a day, okay? Because I have enough of heart attack for one session. Yes, who? Okay, you want to do QR code? Okay, we do QR code, okay? Yeah, all right. So I'll do attendance sessions. Group 1. Okay, let's proceed to group 2. Two. Greg.
Hello, Dor.
Yes.
My friend Karisha, from Civil 2,
Mm.
63287. She unable to attend the class. Her mom passed away this morning.
Sorry, that one I cannot key it in for her, the attendance report. Just ask her to email me now.
Okay, okay.
Mm.
Thank you.
I cannot key in attendance record when the persons are not here, okay?
Okay, okay.
But it's okay. Just ask her whenever she is ready, when things are over, then just ask her to give me an email stating that today's class, she is not able to attend because of this reason.
Okay.
Yeah.
Doctor.
Yes. Send our condolences to her, okay? Thank you. Yes, Curling.
I cannot.
Are you in group 2?
I cannot scan my QR. Yeah,
Which
I'm
group?
group 2.
Jacqueline, is it? Okay, wait, until everybody is ready, then I'll go out first.
Group 2.
Yes?
Yeah, Jacqueline.
Wait. Anybody else from from group 1 and group 2 who cannot key in your QR?
Alright. Okay, doctor.
Anyone else from group 2 cannot key in your QR? Last call. I won't come back. Anyone else from group 1 who cannot key in your QR? Anyone else from group 1 who cannot key in your QR? No? Okay, fine. Okay, group 3. So for today's lecture, I will be posting up a pre-recorded Tuesday lecture. I've already posted up the pre-recorded and also the attendance record setting. Please finish that by this by this Sunday, and can you all take note to go through the pre-recorded lecture? It took me a while to upload because there was, I couldn't upload it on YouTube. So that's why it was quite late, so apologies for that. It took me the whole yesterday trying to upload it, but I didn't manage to do it until yesterday night, you see. So try to upload it, try to download it and go through that. And I'll try my best to put up the pre-recorded for today's lecture, which may be another 40 minutes on S-curve and detail costing method. Is an example. And yeah, you go through that because, okay, just to give you an idea, before everybody else leave, the test will be on the 10th of December. Sorry, did I put December? It should be 10th of December. 10th of December is a Thursday. So we really don't have that much of session together for us to actually discuss about your test, you see. So you need to do some revision work during your break week next week. It will be 2 questions. I don't remember whether it covers up until cost, but I would say it will cover up until estimates. Okay, so make sure that you go through the pre-recorded to this week. So there will be a question on CPM. There will be a question on project life cycle. There will be a question on management control cycle. I don't remember which, okay, but there will be 2 questions with A, B. Yeah, with A, B. So the coverage is project life cycle, management control cycle, CPM, how to come up with a schedule, like all the procedures that we'll be talking about, going from resources to production rate, to duration, to sequencing, to drawing the Gantt chart. Those are how you come up with the Gantt chart, you see. So CPM wise, there will be a question on CPM. So it'd be better for you all to actually try out your assignment. I mean, your bonus assignment and also the other exercise that I've given you as a revision. So I think that will be the coverage. There may be a question on estimates, and that will be the furthest we will go. Type of estimates, yeah. Type of estimate. What is estimates? What are types of estimates? So these are the questions that we'll be covering on tests. Test is about 15% out of 100% of your overall marks. Okay. So I hope you all buka telinga besar-besar, because after next week, 3rd of December, I won't be seeing you until 7th of December. 8th of December, and that will be too close to discuss about tests again. So that's why I want to quickly tell you about the test now. Okay.
Doctor, can you provide solution for the bonus assignment?
No. No need. You just try it, okay? As long as you can close the loop, you should be okay. Sorry, this is 10th of, sorry, my head is a bit messed up. 10th of December. Okay. 10th of December is test 1, not 10th of November, sorry. And then the 7th of December is the handing in date for the assignment. Okay, regarding your question on providing solution, I wouldn't provide you with the final solution, but I will provide you with the final, the two later on. I'll provide you with the two last activity and the first activity, the solution. I mean the numbers ES, EF, and RSF. As long as you get that two correct, I think the middle one should be all okay. Is that okay?
Okay, thank you, Doctor.
Okay. Well, it's like an open book, yeah. You can, yeah, you can. So you have to type out all your answers as well. You have to type it out or write it out and scan it. It's up to you, okay? It's just exactly like that one. Your contact. Yeah, you can cite. I mean, just do a reference list lah. No need to cite lah. I mean, you'll be copying from mine anyway, so. Do a reference list, okay? Okay, somebody else say that the QR, who hasn't done the QR? Wait, the group two. Francis, anyone else?
And me, Dr. Theodore.
Oh, Theodore, okay. Okay, look.
Yes.
All right, I think it's all settled. Any NRR people here? If not, then I have to do an NRR QR.
Yes, Doctor, NRR.
NRR. What's my QR? Wow.
Speaking of citation,
Yes.
for the exam, let's say I'm using the information from your slides, I mean your lecture slides and other documents. So how should I cite it?
Normally, I do prefer you all to do the proper citing work, okay? Yeah, like I said, like usually, like according to who and who year, and then
Then the reference list.
yeah, they have to have a reference list. But just now, I mentioned to everybody that why not we just do a reference list? I mean, so you don't really what's going on?
Okay.
Wait, sorry. Yeah, just do a reference list. Will be easier.
Okay.
No need to do like according to who. That's just for mine, like you don't go and like tell that to the rest of the other lecturer. Then I get into trouble again.
Okay.
But I need you all to either type out your answer or you write it out. You need to scan it. Okay. I prefer use hand in Microsoft version. PDF is fine. PDF is better. Yeah. PDF, sorry. Okay, so what you need to do is it will be an online face-to-face, meaning that you still can do your references and all that. You can check your book and all that. Then you type out all your answers and then do your reference list, cover page and all that. Then I need you to PDF it and then send it to me and hand it in. So the best is to type out all the answers and then with the CPM questions, you probably draw, and there will be one page for you to either take a picture and attach it together with the paste it into your answer script, or you can scan it and paste it into your answer script. That's fine as well. Or you can just do, but usually only one file hand in, so it's better to be attached together with your answer script. I do not prefer if you write everything and then scan and hand in. Okay, I prefer you type, and because only CPM will need you to actually do a manual one on paper, and that one I believe you can actually just take a picture, a nice clean picture, and then attach it together with your assignment. And I will be there to guide you on that day about 11:30. I will start to get you guys to do the handing in already. So essentially, you only have about 1.5 hours to do the answering. Okay.
Okay, so you will give us 30 minutes to compile.
30 minutes to compile and hand it in. I will maybe extend the handing in time for another extra 20 minutes. But you need to you need to be online. You need to be online with me and on your video if possible. Yeah. Okay. So that's enough for today. Okay. So just watch out for the pre-recorded lecture. You may need it for the test. Okay. So I will post it up by the latest tomorrow. Okay. If you have laptop with no webcam, you can actually use your phone. You can use your phone, and then you can leave your phone WebEx on, and then your laptop, you use it to answer the question. All right, is that all? I need to go, yeah? So any other question, just come back on the 3rd of December for IDP Q&A if you guys are interested. If not, all my mentees are suggested to attend. Okay, goodbye, everybody.
The email is to every month, but